Hello, everybody. Welcome back one more time again to the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show. I'm your host, Redneck, and I think we got a phone call. Let's go to the phone. Say, hello, who that?
Hey, it's Jimmy Miles. How you doing, Scott?
Hey, I'm good, Mr. Miles. Good. I'm so glad to have you on the phone, man. So what sort of desperation you in now? Because you ain't calling me unless there's something wrong.
Well, I actually just got time to kill. I'm doing what I do a lot of, riding down the road, going somewhere.
All right, so where you headed from? Where you headed to?
Leaving Alabama, headed to Memphis, Tennessee to see Cody Jinks and Whitey Morgan tonight at the New Daisy Theater.
Good Lord, are you serious?
Yeah, gonna be a outlaw night going on in Memphis tonight on Bill Street.
Have they authorized this yet? I mean, they're going to allow Jimmy Miles and Whitey Morgan and Cody Jinks all in the same town at the same time?
I'm going under an assumed name.
You're going to have to, I'm sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to a dear friend of mine and someone that we're a huge fan of. It's American Rambler himself, Mr. Jimmy Miles. And let's do this. Let's do things proper, like Mr. Miles. Let's tell people, who that, where you at, where you from.
All right, if I can get all that. Of course, we play old honky-tonk music. I've been doing it about 30 years now. From a little town in Alabama called Beaverton, Alabama. About 7 miles down the road from where I live now. I live in a little town called Ewan, Alabama.
Hey, Roll Tide. Is that Crimson Tide country?
That's right. Not too far from Tuscaloosa.
And so you're on the road. You've been doing honky-tonk. Well, you're not doing the little honky-tonks anymore. You're playing big shows. I know you just wrapped up a big shindig in Perryton, Texas, and now you're back in Alabama, headed to Memphis. What's that like, man? An Alabama boy going from honky-tonk picking to big show stages and rock star kicking.
We love it. Still honky-tonk. Honky-tonks is still our thing. It don't matter if we're on a big stage. We just turn that big festival into a big honky-tonk too. Just what we do. We'll always be part of the honky-tonks. That's kind of who we are.
Well, now that last show you did, let me see, you had a bunch of legends there with you. Mr. Billy Don Burns played there. I know that I believe Wade Jennings was there at that show. Am I correct?
That's right.
And
Dallas
Moore Band, Richie Albright, Mr.
Kyle Wilson.
Kyle Wilson, Mr. Ginn himself, right?
That's right. And a young group from out in Texas that's really, really good. People need to listen to when they get a chance. Is J.W. Lane and County Road X. They played on the Friday night. They're really good. All a bunch of young boys and should be on radio everywhere by now.
Well, you know what? If they're desperate enough, man, they can give us a call and we'll chat with them. We'll put it out there for them as well. When you did this show, did you have a band with you, or was it just you and your guitar?
No, it was full band.
And who's in the band? Let's tell people, because them boys deserve recognition too.
Myself and my 17-year-old son. He's playing drums with us. He's been on the road with us since he was about 13. And he actually plays a little bit of everything, but he plays drums with us in the band. My good friend Mark McCord from Nashville, Tennessee, who also played on our album. He's playing on the road with us now. Eugene Green from Alabama is usually playing lead guitar with us, but he couldn't make this trip to Texas, so I knew Kyle was booked at it too, and Kyle Wilson's a awesome lead guitar player, so we used him on guitar while we were out there, since he was going to be there doing his acoustic show anyway. It turned out great. Me and him's done a few shows together and kind of know each other's stuff. It turned out great.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. I'm looking forward to getting y'all up here to New York, and I spoke to a few people kind of, in your camp, and Dallas Moore plays the area. Wade Jennings is talking about, or let me correct myself. He's threatened to come up here. There's a few others, so I figure if y'all can road trip it, west, you could do the same thing east. But we'll get involved in that later. What I want to do though, if you don't mind, is let's talk about your first album. Talk about a few of those tunes on there because I really like them. Well, you're on the road right now, so you up for it?
Yeah.
All right. So the first album was One for the Lady. And when did you put that one out?
I think it's 2002 was the release date on it, late 2002. I was actually with a record label in Nashville then, Platinum Plus Records. Every song on it, I'm a writer on, except one. Actually, my favorite song on it I didn't write, track number 6.
Can't Take That Kind of Lovin'?
That's right. A friend of mine from Columbus, Mississippi, Michael Merchant, wrote that one. I'm trying to get me some points for him, so I'm going to say that's my favorite song on the album.
It's your favorite song to the next one. All right, so Mr. Michael Merchant, he wrote that one for you. What makes that your favorite? I mean, what behind that? Because I know, for me, Freight Train, I love that song. Freight Train is just one of those big, powerful driving songs, you know. It's in the titles. What about Can't Take That Kind of Lovin' makes it your favorite?
Well, I really don't have a favorite. I kind of love the whole album, but the reason it's on there and me not writing it is I liked what we did with it. The original demo is nothing like what we turned it into. We kind of took that song and made it a Jimmy Miles song, and it's exact words, but it don't sound anything like the original demo that we heard. It's kind of the first song we've ever took that way, and that wasn't our song, and built it the way we wanted it. It turned out good. We was really proud of how it turned out.
If you don't mind, we're going to go ahead and we're going to play that for folks so they can hear it and find out what it is about that song that you like so much, and I'm sure they're going to like it just the same. So how about you introduce that tune for your fans, and we'll give that a spin and come back and chat with you some more if you don't mind.
All right. Hey, this is Jimmy Miles from the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show. I'd like y'all to take a listen to one of my songs from one of my albums titled I Can't Take Your Kind of Lovin' Anymore.
Say that you love me, that your love is true. You say that without me, you don't know what you do. You treat me like a toy, like some children's plaything, messing with my mind with your crazy head game. My head may not be straight, but I'm nobody's fool. Let me tell you, honey, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my act together and dance right out the door. I'll be singing Goodbye Woman as I waltz across the floor. I can tell you one thing, baby, this I know for sure. I can't take your kind of loving anymore. You say you're the best thing ever happened to me. You say it's so strange that I'm too blind to see. You say I'm no good, I'm just a hopeless case. Ain't worth a damn for nothing, no good for anything. You drugged this horse to water, you tried to make him drink. Let me tell you, honey, you can take this to the bank. I'm gonna get my act together, dance right out the door. I'll be singing Goodbye Woman as I walk across the floor. I can tell you one thing, baby, this I know for sure. I can't take your kind of loving anymore. This thing you call love, it's bending my brain, 'cause your kind of loving is driving me insane. Before I go crazy, my mind's a total blank. Well, I'm getting out of here and you got yourself a thing. Gonna get my act together, dance right out the door. I'll be singing Goodbye Woman as I waltz across the floor. I can tell you one thing, baby, this I know for sure. I can't take your kind of loving anymore. I can't take your kind of loving anymore. I can't take your kind of loving anymore.
Man, Jimmy, I tell you, I know why after listening to that you like that song, man. If I could sing, I'd put that on my album, I guarantee. That's some good stuff, man. I like the way you did that. That's nice. How does that differ from the demo that you heard?
The demo was a little more laid back, serious, broken-hearted kind of a song about leaving a woman, and we turned it into a driving, hot-rodded it up a little bit, and still exact same words, but it changed the whole meaning of it that it did when it was a slow song. And, you can be playing some slow, sad, depressing songs in a honky-tonk and kick into that one. It wakes everybody up, gets their attention again.
That's nice. So you went from taking a ride to driving it home, man. That's some good tunes right there. Just want to go ahead and just remind folks that are listening in that this is the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show, we're chatting with Mr. Jimmy Miles, the true original American Rambler. And we hopefully y'all enjoy what we're doing, because we definitely enjoy what Mr. Jimmy Miles is doing. And we just listened to I Can't Take Your Kind of Loving Anymore off of his first album. Now, this first album, Jimmy, I know it's mostly you, except for that one cut there. Is there a reason? I mean, are you the kind of artist that only you like writing and doing your own originals, or what's the motivation behind Jimmy Miles sitting down and putting together an album?
I've got some co-writes too on both albums. That first album, there's a lady named Jessie Lynn who wrote a couple of songs with me on it. And the last album, it's actually got 5 cover type songs on it, 6 original songs that me and co-writers wrote. Usually I've about got one wrote, might get stuck in a rut on finishing a verse, or me and them might have the same idea and sit down and write it in a few minutes. But usually if a song is good to me, I sit down and write it in a few minutes. If it ain't good, if I have to put it away and come back to it later, I usually hardly ever finish that one, because it's hard. If you have to force a line in a song, that line's going to be the stupidest line you ever heard in a song most of the time, if you're just hunting a rhyme, especially.
Hey, so Mr. Miles, tell me about this. Country Born, American Made, that was I believe was going to be a theme song for God's Guns and Automobile. That's not on the first album. Was that done separately, or did you have an intention behind that?
Yeah, that song was supposed to be on our album. We done the video, done the single. We were releasing it actually to promote the upcoming album while we were working on the album. But the record label I was with at the time, we had some disagreements on what songs would be on the album, how we would play the songs, who would be playing on it. I don't mind suggestions, but when you start doing what the record company wants on the album, then you get the record company's album, and I wanted a Jimmy Miles album.
So you mean to tell me that an artist didn't agree with a record label? I never heard of that.
Yeah, it still happens. Some of them disagree and live with it. I couldn't do that.
What'd you end up doing?
I bought the masters to the album and took it over myself, and started a small label of my own called South Sound Music, and that's the label that the album's on now.
If folks want, let's do this first. Let's tell people where they can find your music. Does that work for you, brother?
Yes. They can find my music worldwide, the physical album, at cdbaby.com, and you can find both albums on there. And you can find it at all download sites. I haven't went to a digital download site yet that don't have it, so you should be able to find it anywhere there. You can find it at our live shows. A couple of retailers in Alabama actually has it on their shelves. We also have a website, jimmymiles.net. The song that ain't on the album, let y'all give it a listen right here. This is Country Born, American Made, a song I'm very proud of. I'm a real patriotic American, proud of who I am, where I'm from, so I'd like y'all to give this a listen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Country Born, American Made by Mr. Jimmy Miles, and this is the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show.
I came straight from the heartland of the good old US of A, where God, guns, chrome, and steel, the American way. I worked hard for my dollar, and what I've got is mine. If you think that you can take it, you better heed my warning signs. 'Cause I'm country born, I'm American made. From a dusty, dirty back road to what you see today. If I seem a little proud, well, there's a reason I'm this way. I'm country born, I'm American made. Well, it's never gonna be easy, but God is on our side. He'll make sure we make it, but we gotta do what's right. If you'll just work twice as hard as the man right next to you, you'll end up with twice as much when your day is through. Well, I'm country born, I'm American made. From a dusty, dirty back road to what you see today. If I seem a little proud, there's a reason I'm this way. I'm country born, I'm American made. Well, I want you to know I paid my dues, I fed the lazy man. But I think that it's time we all take a stand. I'm country born, I'm American made. From a dusty, dirty back road to what you see today. If I seem a little proud, well, there's a reason I'm this way. I'm country born, I'm American made.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Country Born, American Made by Mr. Jimmy Miles, the American Rambler. We got him on the phone. Jimmy, I'm both of those. I like that song because I am country born, American made, and I do have a lot of Southern pride and you know, American pride even more so. It's good. It's just a good, fun, patriotic song, and I enjoy that a lot, man. I really do. You know, I like both those songs that we listened to, Jimmy, but I'll be honest with you, one of the songs I'm really partial to, and this is a problem because I like so much of your music, but it's Freight Train, you know. I'm a sucker for songs about rain, trains, and rivers, you know. So that's that song's right up there on the top of my list. Let's talk about that.
That song's actually wrote about guitar players. I don't know, you get in a room with 3 or 4 good rocking guitar players, and they get to driving them guitars. It's a lot like being on a freight train. That's what the whole song's about. Just a bunch of guitar players get together playing. It's a fun song. It's got some great guitar music in it. Just that feeling that you get when you're hearing Jerry Reed type guitars being played. And it just sounds like a train going down the tracks headed somewhere when you hear them guitars driving like them kind of guitars do.
Yeah, and that was what I was saying before. It has that it epitomizes the title there. It's just hard driving freight train sound to it. You know, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, we like the title of that song so much. That's what we named our tour bus. It's called Freight Train. A big old black silver eagle with Freight Train on the front of it.
I just hope you don't go through town like that. All right, so tell us who played the guitar on that. You call it Freight Train. Who gets the credit for that music?
The guitar player on that, which is the greatest music on it, is Kerry March, Nashville, Tennessee. He was actually the lead guitar player in a band of Jerry Reed, who happens to be one of the greatest lead guitar players of all time. So if you play lead guitar for Jerry Reed, you better be a good guitar player because he knows everything you're doing.
All right, Jimmy, enough said. How about you do this? Why don't you introduce that to your listeners and let's give them a play.
All right, this is Jimmy Miles coming to you still from Gumbo YaYa Radio. And also, we'd like to have y'all to help support this Gumbo YaYa Radio because they're doing a whole lot for independent country artists, independent honky-tonk music, outlaw music. It's hard to find those avenues of support you like this radio show does. Giving you that, I'd like you to take a listen to a song off my first album called Freight Train.
Oh, Jimmy, I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Freight Train by Jimmy Miles.
Lord, here he comes, got his guitar by his side. Got a full bottle of beam, he says, Jim, let's take us a ride. He don't mean in a pickup truck and he ain't got no plane. We get out these old guitars like being on an old freight train. We're gonna rock, we're gonna roll. just take a seat, we're gonna show you what this old train will do for you. Freight train, we're gonna ride. Freight train, side by side. If you don't like country music and a little bit of rock and roll, better get yourself off the train, that's where it's gonna go. Give me that old bottle, boy, no, I don't need a cup. But you better get some water, gonna burn these guitars up. Don't worry about that broken string, I'll skip over it. When you get on an old freight train, a broken string's what you'll get. We're gonna rock, we're gonna roll. We're gonna play buddy, don't you think it's right, getting a little rough? You can't stay on this old train if you ain't tough enough. Freight train, we're gonna ride. Freight train, side by side. If you don't like country music and a little bit of rock and roll, you better get yourself off the train, that's where it's gonna go. Freight train, freight train, freight train, freight train. Take a ride.
Hey, Jimmy, you don't mind if we listen to that one more time, do you? I could play that song
over
and over.
That's one of those you'll put on repeat. When you're in a hurry to get somewhere in a car, you just put that on repeat. You'll be there in a minute.
Man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Do me a favor, Jimmy. I want to talk to you about a piece of music that I'm partial to, and I think that means a lot to you, and I want folks to hear the story behind it.
You Star in the Sky is a song I wrote about my hero, my biggest hero in the world. Ain't no secret to most people that knows me is Mr. Waylon Jennings. I had actually wrote this song about Waylon before he passed away, and we just played it around the bars and stuff like that. Never had been recorded. After Waylon passed away, I rewrote it, and that's the result was You Star in the Sky. Just an ode to my hero, Waylon Jennings.
Well, that doesn't need any more introduction to that. I really like this song. And not because it's about Waylon, just because the emotion, the passion behind it, the fact that it's about Waylon, it says a lot too. I'm a big fan of Waylon's. I think there's a law in Texas. Every county in Texas has to have at least two Jennings. On that merit alone, man, I'm sure half of Texas, the entire state of Texas, is a fan of this song.
That's right. He's got a lot of family out there, and
right.
And his family, all of them I've met is good people.
I love this song, not just because it's about Waylon Jennings, but just because of the emotion behind it. And I believe it is available as a digital download on CD Baby. So if folks want to go and get their copy, they can do that. But right now, let's go ahead and play that. Will you don't mind introducing that tune for your listeners?
Yeah, it's another one of my favorite songs I've ever wrote because it's about my favorite man that ever lived, Mr. Waylon Jennings. I owe to him, You Star in the Sky.
A song about my biggest hero in the world. Billy loaded up everything that he owned. He headed out of Guitar Town, laid down in the desert and watched the sun go down. After 64 cold winters, it was time to move along. Well, I sure hope that the good Lord's ready for a little bit of honky-tonk. There's a new star in the sky tonight, smiling down on Jesse with his outlaw eyes. Yeah, you know his life was a hell of a ride. And there's a new star in the sky tonight. Some people call him country, and others call him rhythm and blues. Well, I just call him a man in a song with nothing left to lose. Took the sound of Mr. Bob Wills and some Buddy Holly too. I ran it through his amplifier and said, "Here, world, this is for you." And there's a new star in the sky tonight, smiling down on Jesse with his outlaw eyes. Yeah, you know his life was a hell of a ride. And there's a new star in the sky tonight, rated up to honky-tonk heaven, where Bob Wills is still the king.
Appreciate it, y'all. But how about a hand for Mr. Waylon Jennings? That's what it's all about.
That was New Star in the Sky, original tune written by Mr. Jimmy Miles, dedicated to his idol and the country music legend, Mr. Waylon Jennings. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for introducing and doing that song for us. We're talking to Jimmy Miles here on the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show, the American Rambler. He's on the road. He's headed to Memphis. And we talked a lot about some of your past music. Let's talk about what you got out now. Let's talk about your new album. Let's tell folks about that.
The new album we've got out now is titled American Rambler. There's not a song on there titled that. That's just who we are. We're full-blooded, bleed red, white, and blue Americans, and we would go anywhere for a song. So that's what an American Rambler is. Travel these old roads, singing songs to everybody. It's a 11-song album. I think 6 original songs and 5 you've probably heard before. Everything from the slowest, saddest stuff to the how much I love you stuff, how much I hate you stuff, honky-tonkin', outlaw, country, traditional. It's just country music.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I like your music, but I'm really impressed with the duets that are on this album. So, and I want to start off with the one you do with Miss Georgette Jones.
Yes, it's a love song that me and Stanley Webb, a friend of mine, wrote. I think it's the first song I've ever wrote from start to finish that don't have any kind of negative line in it. Just all about how much you love each other. It was great working with Georgette on it. She's got an amazing voice, just like her mother did, just like her daddy did. She's great to work with. She's actually working on a new album right now herself that I can't wait to hear.
I'm excited about that, too. How did you end up making that happen?
Sent her a message and sent her the song, and she liked the song enough to sing on it, so that's kind of how that worked. She was willing to listen to the song and just me singing it. And I told her what my idea was about how to split it up. She loved the idea and showed up, and we was done with it. About an hour and a half, we was done recording. If
you send a piece of music to someone and they like it so much that right off the bat like that, they just want to go out and record it, that says a lot, because I know, and you know as well as I do, in this business, you get CDs probably a dozen a day, listen to this song, and they end up just being coasters, you're using them the place to set your beer. So the fact that she took the time, listened to it, and loved it enough to come out there, Jimmy, again, says a lot about, your writing skills. So you're to be commended on that.
That's right. And someone who does sing for a living, like Georgette and other singers that sings with me on there, they're not going to want to sing on a song that they don't really believe in because, it's their reputation too. So it makes you feel good when they're willing to sing on one of your songs. There's one more thing I'm really, really proud of on that song. We've got Fred Newell does steel guitar work. He plays with Waylon and has played with Waylon, plays with Waymore's Outlaws now. He was the band leader on Nashville Now show for 10 years of 5 nights a week on TV. But this particular song is the only song he don't do the lead work on. My drummer and son, Destin Smiley Miles, is the lead guitar player on this song. I was really, really proud of what he played on it.
Well, then you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and play that right now. This is Loving You So Easy with Mr. Jimmy Miles and Miss Georgette Jones. Y'all give this a listen, and we'll be right back on the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show.
Just your smile.
Jimmy, now I know why she wanted to do that song. That is nice, man. That's good stuff right there, man. Don't stop doing what you're doing.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Don't quit your day job, and your day job is writing songs and rocking honky tonks.
Well, I have to write about things that are real. It's rough on your old body. Some of the stuff I've had to write about is pretty tough, and living through it was what was rough. So you could just to write a song.
I guess a lot of artists say that, they write about what they live, and that's, it's what draws us in as listeners. We hear something, we relate to it and say, hey, that's me, and you do a real good job about capturing the human experience and making that real, relative. It comes through in your music, and it's good stuff, Jimmy. It's great stuff. I know you're on the road and you got places to be, but I want to go ahead and, if you don't mind, talk about one more of your songs, have your fans get a listen to it, and then I promise we'll let you go after that. Can you hang with us for this one? All right. Before you go, I want to go ahead and talk about My Daddy Did, the song you did with T. Graham Brown. So how did you end up working with T. Graham Brown, and who wrote the song? Just give us the details.
The original song was wrote by another good friend of mine, Mr. P.J. Kimberlin, down in South Mississippi. And, it tore me up the first time I heard it. I kind of learned it and changed a few words and lines in it just to kind of make it suit today's times and suit my life a little better, and that's how I ended up a co-writer on it. But he had the heartstrings already in it when I heard it. It was really, really hard to learn because I could never get past the last verse after losing my daddy. I could never get through the last verse where you lose your daddy. So that's where I come up with the idea of doing a duet, just because I couldn't sing the last verse, couldn't get through it. The song is wore on me now, and I've sung it enough that I can do the whole song all the time now. But we hit T. Graham up about singing on it because that's all it needed was a little bit of, he's such a soul singer. Putting him on it was the exact right thing to do because you can feel every word he says in it.
Man, who wouldn't want to be Jimmy Miles for the day? That's, oh, listen, I wrote this song. I want to get somebody to do a duet. How about I just get a hold of Miss Georgette Jones? Done. Oh, listen, I have a hard time finishing the song. Maybe I just get T. Graham Brown to help me close it out at the end there on the duet, done. I guess you in high cotton, Mr. Miles. That's impressive work. That's an impressive body of work right there.
Yeah, we were really proud for the same reasons that T. Graham just sang on it because he liked the song that much. Actually, I was going to take him out to supper that night, and he had an appointment and couldn't make the supper, so I ended up getting off pretty cheap on him coming in there. That was all he was going to get out of it. He just liked the song enough that he wanted to come sing on it. It really made us feel good about the song.
I tell you what, if you buy me supper, I'll listen to it.
I bet you just listen to it.
All right, then how about you introduce it?
This is probably, I had a favorite off the album because I like all of them. I try not to put anything on the album I don't like, but if I had a favorite, this would probably be my favorite off the American Rambler album. It's me and Mr. T. Graham Brown singing My Daddy Did.
Like my daddy did.
ladies and gentlemen, that was My Daddy Did with Mr. Jimmy Miles and T. Graham Brown. And that song's going out there to everybody who has a daddy, because I guarantee that's one heck of a song right there, man. Mr. Miles, thank you so much. Thank you for checking in with us. Thanking you for sharing your music and taking the time. I know you're on a road trip, and I appreciate every second and every song.
Yes, sir. We'll be listening to you, calling, checking on you, and maybe pop in up New York sometime this summer and visit with you.
Well, this is what I want you to do for me, if you don't mind. Do me a favor. So I want you to spread the word, and I want you to let all your fellow artists and let your fellow musicians know that the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show, we're here for them. If they want to get their music out, give us a call, and we're here for y'all. We're here to say thank you for your music and to show that appreciation by sharing it with our public and with your fans.
Well, you're going to be hearing some, man, because we got our kind of music is a great circle of musicians, all in all. We all know that we can do more with each other's fans than we can on our own. Instead of trying to bury each other, we all try to help each other. So you'll be hearing something, my friend.
You know, I can't thank you enough, Mr. Miles, for joining us here on the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show. And all right, before we let you go, how about this one more time? Let people give people your website and your CD Baby and your Facebook information.
All right. You can find both my albums and singles at cdbaby.com/Jimmy Miles. Go to our website, jimmymiles.net. Visit our band page, Jimmy Miles and the Southern Pride Band. And also, we'd like to have y'all to help support this Gumbo YaYa Radio, because they're doing a whole lot for independent country artists, independent honky-tonk music, outlaw music. It's hard to find those avenues of support you like this radio show does.
We definitely will. We're fans of yours. And like we say, I know you got to go, Jimmy, from the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show. Remember, hug your friends, kiss your family, and thank the Lord. Y'all keep listening now, you hear?
Hello, this is Jimmy Miles from down around Beaverton, Alabama, and you're listening to the Gumbo YaYa Radio Show.